Good evening, everyone. Raymond the Amish Comic here in a special live stream Friday night. It is a fundraiser for our previously feral cat, Mary, who made one streaming appearance, and she hasn't actually felt good since then. And so we finally got her to the vet, and we're looking at $400 right now. With future stuff that has to happen, and it's just not really a good time for us to. But I don't really have $400 to spend on the doctor for me, so let's just face the facts there. This is something I'm doing because I can do it. It's as simple as that. Nobody has money, and I'm one. I'm basically one hard luck story after the next. Uh, Love my fans. I've thought, well, I have the opportunity to do this. Why not do this? So there's a fundraiser going on my Facebook profile. There's links to send loot via PayPal, AmishComic at gmail.com. You actually don't need a link for that. Or Venmo at AmishComic. So that's what's going on. The excitement is that can do things like this. Mary has been hacking respiratory stuff. I made some jokes about her being allergic to me. Also, hello, Facebook Live. This doesn't happen much, but I'm trying to get you to give money to our cat. So, Mary has been inside about 9 years. I think she's been to the vet one time when we first brought her in. She was feral. She was such a doll. They actually thought we were lying about her being feral, so we get some kind of discount or some shit. I don't really know. And she escaped there and hid behind a computer monitor, and they just left there. This was like 9 years ago, whatever. So we finally went to make an appointment and with where Mary was, and it's been so long that they had no record of her being there, which I believe qualified for the new patient discount. But apparently, since they knew she was there, they just didn't have any record of her being there. Since it was like dinosaur days, there was no discount there. So what happens is this: is whenever we order food like pizza or whatever, my lovely wife on the couch over there says hello to everybody. Mary might make an appearance tonight. I don't know. She's floating around somewhere. But we have my wife tasked with calling the food orders in because it's confusing and there's bad connections. So we need a calling to make an appointment for Mary at a vet that she was at 9 years ago. But now explain what's going on. Let me just tell you this. First of all, there's a lot of different people voting, go here, go there. We wanted a short ride, so that was part of the factor because she hasn't been in the car since for fucking 9 years. But calling up and trying to make this cat appointment, we just got blindsided. And I'm picking on my poor wife over here, but she does everything. But she's also filled with great comedy. So I am listening. We listen to each other when we're like talking to a vet for Mary, or even doctors for us, in case we say something stupid, and then the other one can throw the penalty flag in there. So they were asking my wife if Mary was a male or a female. And my wife said she's a woman. So there you go, man. Mary's, I like the Helen Ray song, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. That Richter come in with $5 super chat. That's fantastic. Don't super chat. I should have turned that off. Don't super chat money because YouTube's going to take a third of that and they won't give it to me for like 1,000 fucking years. So that's fantastic, Richter. Richter, you're not going to be in charge of making sure nobody else super chats money because it's awesome, but it's also a fucking nightmare. Direct, wait till after the live stream or whatever. So now we got my wife talking to the veterinarian saying that Uh, Mary is a woman. Got a big laugh out of me. And then uh, the other choice of vet is apparently the one that everybody that we know went to. Now we were starting to freak out and thinking, well, maybe we picked the wrong one. So I called the other place after Mary's appointment was made, and she hadn't been in there yet. Um, and it turns out they can't see new cats until April, so that made the decision easy. Now, because my wife is way smarter than I am, she took a cat carrier um, and set it out in this other room here for about 2 or 3 days prior and made it all cozy. And then we put treats in there, like luring uh, uh, Silence of the Lambs down into the well, put the lotion in the basket. She actually uh, liked hanging out, going in there. Uh, Mary has such fantastic manners. Well, you're going to take your cat to the vet and it's not used to going in the car. And that's another thing, I'm getting ahead of the story here. I believed Mary had a very excellent chance of pissing in the car. That's not her fault. That would be my fault for not thinking, gee, I wonder if Mary might piss in the car. Now, why I thought she might not, because 9 years ago when we had to trap her and bring her, she had to stay in the basement for like 24 hours after her operation so that she had time to heal. She didn't piss in the basement. And she was stuck in this little cat carrier for 24 hours, and our daughter went down and sang to her and talked to her and chilled her down. But I'm thinking, and then when we turned her loose, she backed out of there and flew. I thought we'd never see her again. We just want to get her fixed and get her, uh, rabies shot and all that stuff. I thought she'd say, fuck you with a bucket of goo. I'm fucking out of here. She backed out. She went and she pissed. And then she came right back to see us. So I put down plastic in the car, in the back seat, and blanket over that. And then the appointment that we made for Mary, this was another factor. They wanted to make sure we were masked up and safe, and that's how we're doing stuff. And so we like that. We told them Mary was sneezing, and they were worried about um, bringing her in to the other through the front with her sneezing and all that stuff. So they have actually, like, Mary had like a curbside appointment. So we would pull in with Mary in the cat carrier in the car, and she was crying already and trying to claw through and stuff. And we had never really had the reason to close that cat carrier, so that's another thing that was fun and should have been filmed. We had like a stupid stick, and it didn't quite fit properly. So then we got a shish kebab skewer that went right down, and it fit perfectly, except we got this thing too long. And I pulled a Perrin a bar from Wheel of Time, the blacksmith, and I fucking banged and pounded. This is 10 minutes before fucking appointment, and I'm banging this fucking thing with the needle nose pliers, and I fucking destroyed a sushi skewer, a bocce skewer, whatever the fuck it is. But that's not part of this fundraiser. We'll take the hit there and put that fucker in, and then we got her there. And then we pulled in the curbside, and then when we phoned in, apparently they had some sort of big meeting. So now Mary is screaming, nuts, crying. We're going nuts. We're in the car. She still hasn't pissed. And then I called him back, and then the answering machine lady said, well, it's going to be like another 5 minutes. And I'm like, I don't think Mary's going to last another 5 minutes. She was fucking losing her mind. She was panting. She was fucking crying. She hasn't been out. So they shook up the system a teeny little bit. And you got curbside in the side there. So that was kind of amazing. And then that's a point where you're really nuts, because they ask you all kind of stupid shit, like out of nowhere, like, what does she eat? Fucking cats eat everything. I mean, for fuck's sake, Mary gets good quality food because she's older, and so we didn't have any of that shit prepared. Then they want to weigh her, and then for all this fucking shit. Mary was so good at the vet, but she went as nuts as she needed to go. And she's very gentle, and what we wound up getting was, for her, antibiotics, and they're horrible tasting drops, and they suggest you put them in this dropper, and then you open her mouth up, and they were showing us on Mary, right? And Mary's getting fucking pissed. and rightly so, because they're practicing already. We're open bar, and Mary does not strike out. She's very peaceful. Uh, Mary gave him like two warning things. Like these came up, and so that, and then they were like, "Oh, you'll be okay, baby." I'm there. Baby just gave you a fucking warning shot in the air, and the next one's going in your fucking. She doesn't. Whatever she's doing now, we've never seen her do. And so they took that with a grain of salt, and then we said, well, the these drops, can we put them in our food? And then both of them, the vet went and the assistant went, well, she's not going to take these fucking drops, not even for us. So they challenged us. So my wife and I have this ridiculous system that's about a 9-minute ritual to get her these drops. Cats, what we love, Mary and Hank, our daughter's cat, uh, can really love a food today and hate it tomorrow. Cat people will be with me on this thing. If they love it today, that's no promise that they will love it tomorrow. So we have a little tester thing, and we put a teeny little thing of food, and then she eats it, then she's going, oh, this is so great. And we know that will work for this thing. And we put a little more, we make a little ring of horrible cat food, and then we put the drops in there, and I stir all this shit up, and then we stand there, and then we judge her, and we make her lick this up, and then my wife is fucking taking charge of this thing. She's fucking thinking of, so the drops apparently taste like batshit balls, so that's a problem right there. So my wife had the idea also to, after she takes the medicine, give her some of the good food that's untainted. So to get some of the aftertaste out of her mouth. That's fucking brilliant right there. That's absolutely fucking brilliant. So that was a big adventure. And then because we can't help but being idiots when we brought her back home, finally, it took fucking long. Curbside, I thought we'd pull in. Curbside, bing, bang, boom, just like when it's curbside bourbon balls. But we hit a meeting. That sucked batshit balls. And then things took long, like they do at regular doctors. So this thing was taking longer than it should have taken. Now, the initial visit, I think, was like about $130, but that's because we couldn't afford all the rest of the medicine, which I won't be picking up probably on Monday. And then, so that's like $200, and then she has to come back in 2 weeks. That's going to be probably $150 to $200. So we're really looking, but maybe $300 to $500. I don't fucking know. And the shit they wanted to have done. If you take your cat to a vet, they do. It's probably just a respiratory thing. This could be allergies, or she could have cancer. You can't just fucking tag on fucking cancer like that. And motherfuckers, I'm ready to go fucking over the cuckoo's nest. And then they had what they prescribe. It's kind of like, I don't want to just bash on vets because they're like, what they're doing is amazing. And these people are fantastic. When people want your cat, then you know they're fantastic. But it's kind of like when you go get your oil changed at one of those Jiffy Lube places, and they go, your car also needs like $9,000 worth of work. That's what we were presented with tonight. A thing, well, if this doesn't work, then we'll need to do some X-rays, and that's like fucking $600. We're actually not doing that unless we really, really have to. And then I don't have the power to live stream for something like that. So then we're gonna be talking GoFundMe. Mary might as well want a fucking MacBook. So that we got 2 weeks of giving her this medicine. It's hard to tell if she's doing better because she's breathing and stuff. So that's driving us over the fucking cuckoo's nest. Thanks for tuning in. I have some stories to tell that are kind of sort of, let's give you some backstory on Mary and why she is one of the most amazing feral cats that ever lived. So, well, Mary, and you've seen Mary. Mary had a little kitten clone of her, Jerry. That's how we met him. The two of them roll around on the picnic table right before Thanksgiving. The fuckers, she fucking did it on purpose. Like, say, oh, it's Thanksgiving. We have so much to be grateful for if you live indoors. But we adorable orange cats, one big, one small, are just fucking laying around here on a picnic table hoping you fuckers throw out some turkey scraps. So the process of feeding them and taking care of them, which I fucking knew nothing. We got sling blade shacks going on out there. My wife Googled all this shit I'm running. It was fucking 0 degrees. I'm buying a fucking tub at Staples and styrofoam stuff and heaters and all this shit. And we actually built a pretty badass sling blade shack to heat these cats up. So Mary is so badass, she created the illusion of abandoning her kitten, who we named Jerry, so Jerry could have all the fucking food and all the warmth and all the fucking shit. That's badass. And Mary was keeping an eye on us from like a safe distance. Uh, and we couldn't get her out of the bushes once, and our daughter, who now has Hank, did the Charleston to get Mary out of the bushes. And before you judge, it worked. There's video of that fucking somewhere. So then we had some other people, some fans, that wanted Jerry before Jerry was even fucking tame. So I was tasked with taming a kitten so it could go to Reading and be friends with another cat, JD. But if JD didn't like Jerry, they'd have to fucking return it. And I agreed to these terms because when you have a cat and you need a home for it, that's a whole nother thing. So, and we did a fundraiser for Jerry, and he got a nice send off because we did do shots and all that stuff, and we turned that money over to the new owners who adopted Jerry, and that was fantastic. So I know more about taming cats and finding them homes, and also when we found the home for Jerry, and I'm not afraid to admit that I cried all the fucking way there and all the way back. Jerry was like the first cat I ever fucking held in my life. It fell asleep in my hands and my wife's and or my hands and our daughter's outside in fucking 1 degree with fucking cold and the fire there. It felt the warmth of the fire and it just, and we couldn't fucking move. So that was absolutely incredible watching a cat in the cold enjoying its first heat. And these people that took Jerry, they had their house was set up fucking perfectly for this. And they had welcome balloons and welcome signs and all this shit. But we brought the sling blade shack along. That the little styrofoam thing, it just fucking looks like somebody in a horror movie is collecting body parts and has to transport them. The lady of the house was fine with it. The guy was like, this is kind of weird. Turned out that was a stroke of fucking genius because that's where Jerry would hide when it was nuts. But they had a setup by where the door in their bedroom would close and be open this far, and then the cats did a little, oh, hi, how are you? How are you? How are you? And it kind of morphed in, and Jerry actually took over that house. It became a big fucking strong cat. It's a clone of Mary, absolute clone of Mary. And they decided to get a dog, and the dog came and tried to bitch slap JD, and Jerry goes, hey, motherfucker, this is a cat house, bitch. And they sent video. So Jerry, feral cat, used to living outside, it's an indoor dog, doesn't scare, went in there and claimed fucking territory. And after all that happened, we hadn't seen Mary around for a while. She was really good at hiding. She came back and she was like, well, remember me? You guys abducted my kitten and took it away from me, and I'm so sad and I'm hungry now. So she waited until Jerry was fucking out of the picture, and then she came back next. So that's how we got to get Mary. Now, Mary is my cat. And when I say that, she was my cat while she was outside because that's a fucking smart cat. The PT Cruiser, as well you all remember, had a specific ridiculous beep to it. Mary learned the beep, so when I came home late from a show, locked the PT Cruiser, she come running across the street. She had all these different hiding places, and the whole neighborhood knew her. This turns out she had, not that they were feeding her, they just knew her, and other people tried to tame her, but somehow we got to be pals. So she was an accountant across the street, great rain protection, she'd hide there, and I'd beep. It was raining one night, and I warned her, I said, Mary, it's raining now. It's the least amount of rain there's going to be. So if you want to run your ass across the street and get some warmth and food, now's the fucking time. And then she did it. So she has a history of like listening to us. Uh, so that's actually kind of incredible. Um, as I said, I am allergic, and when I went into the vets to then we did all that shit and stupid questions again, like they said, does Mary get car sick? She's been in a car fucking twice in her life, so we don't really drive around on fucking turnpike and take her to Knobles and shit to see if she's car sick. She's traumatized. That she is definitely traumatized, but she hasn't thrown up or pissed herself yet. So that was crazy. And when we brought her back, because we are assholeish, we had the cat carrying, we were showing her, if you remember that tree, remember that bush, and we're thinking, this is kind of fucking stupid, let's just get her in. So then we got her in here, and we figured, again, the cat carrier, she would just chuck the finger at it, fuck you in a bucket of goo, and that would be it. But she went and marked the cat carrier, like, this is mine, I don't approve of what it was used for, but this is mine. So there's that shit going. Oh, there's also something I have to point out here is that there's a thing here on my screen. I think if you can see it, it says donation 0 of $400. I only figured out how to put the graphic on there. It has nothing to do with any fucking money. I don't think if you click on that, I don't think it fucking does anything. I was trying to figure it out, but I had too much fucking shit to do today. So I probably should get rid of that. I bet you I can get rid of that, but it's risky right now. So let's not fuck with that. I don't want to lose the live stream. But that really does nothing. So we got her back, and now we're going back to some more old Mary stories. Mary, before she came in, used to cry at the back window for me to come out and play with her. So, and we love building fires. My wife and I, and our daughter, we love building fires out back in the little backyard fireplaces and all that shit. And where the wood piles down by the shed, I would go out to get wood. Mary would be so excited she would run along with me to the wood pile, thinking that I am going to run up the fucking tree with her. There'd be a tree there, and then we go down there. She'd be so excited. Oh boy, we're gonna run. We're gonna torch hop. We're gonna just fucking egg houses and have a fucking great night. And she'd go half up the tree, then she'd realize I was not following her, and so she would stop and turn around and go like, what the fuck, man? I thought we were going out to have some fun. So we definitely have a history, Mary and I. And I definitely sound like I'm bragging now. But what I did to save Mary, I got a lot of help, advice from my wife and stuff. But I've sat out in the fucking bitter cold of fucking 1 o'clock in the morning on a chair in the front porch with a Mary likes what I have, so the little warm chair that I made for her, I had an identical one for myself, and I fucking sat there until she would come, and then this is one of the most heart-wrenching stories, but this is what iced her coming in. She, in the fucking cold before she came in, she jumped up on my lap, and the cat looked me in the eyes with those sad cat eyes, and she was like, this is amazing. You're probably the greatest human being I've ever met, but your legs are bony and your lap is uncomfortable, so I will go and then go over on her chair. Then I sit out there with her for a while till she falls asleep, and I have to sneak in. Then there was an under the chair hidden flap that she'd go under too, and then in the morning if I would check if she was there, and that would fuck that up. So I had to stop checking if she was there. So that's nuts. So now, but back to me at the vet. When we got Mary in the car, I had to go around the front to pay. I'm allergic to everything. There's a lot of fucking dogs in there. I got the most horrible eyeball. Let's see if you can see it. I have displaced fucking horror movie eye that I didn't even fucking know I had. I don't feel bad at all. But I scared our daughter yesterday. She fucking screamed, "What's wrong with your eye?" I don't fucking know. And I looked and I saw it and I fucking screamed. It's all fucking, it's a horror movie. It's David Lynch eye. It feels like, it looks like somebody fucking took my eye out and put it back in.
Like we had the guinea pig.
It's like when we had a guinea pig. Don't even fucking start about that. If you want to kill me, just put a fucking guinea pig on. But this eye gets so bad from allergies that, and I don't really realize it, that when I'm in a store, I scare people. Like they just go away from me. They're like, just take it, just go. Just you wait on them, just go. Just get. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? And it's a fucking frightening eye. And then my wife, who is amazing, today made this damp compress. Is that a cold compress, whatever? Put on my eye. But I forgot I had an eye thing, and she come at me with this cold rag, and I thought she can't possibly want to smother me with this teeny little rag. She said, I thought this is for your eye. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about my eye. Then I put drops in there. They did fucking nothing. So I have horror movie eye, monster eye that I didn't even go in fucking stores yesterday. We took our daughter around and find some stuff. I just fucking hid in the car. Uh, I have a show tomorrow night. I don't know where it is, but it's fucking badass because it's free, and the place is paying me the fee as if people were paying to come in, as a thank you to them for their support through the pandemic and all that shit. And that's badass. If more places would hire me as a thank you, my fucking show business career would have an easier road back. Um, so that's happening tomorrow night. I was on the fence about streaming live tonight, and I thought, fuck me in a bucket of goo. Mary needs some meds, uh, loot. So that's what I'm doing, and I've got some more stories because this also needs to be entertaining on some planet. So we will go back to uh, how I find myself with an allergic eye and the beautiful, most amazing wife that man could ask for, is going back to our younger days when I was too young and stupid to have met my wife. I needed a gift for her, and she had just gone through a divorce and was living in this town with her mother and 3 kids, and I needed a gift. I didn't have any fucking money, so I kind of, right now at this moment in my life, I kind of kept that thing going. Uh, so I basically swooped up a feral cat that was in the family that was rescued, but also they fucking went nuts, and they, so I knew of a feral cat who was actually in a house by itself, and I was sent up to retrieve the cat, and I took it to my wife and her kids as a gift, and they thought this is the most amazing man there ever was. He brought us a cat. So unbeknownst to me, I would fall in love with this woman, and then we move in together, and the fucking cat that lived in the house by itself came back to live with me. Now that's Cecil. Cecil and I had an arrangement. I got you covered, food, lodging, just no petting, and just fucking keep your distance. Now, what's amazing about Cecil is that we were idiots then. A lot of people did it. You can't really did it anymore. Do it. Um, she was an indoor-outdoor cat. And if you have an indoor-outdoor cat now, it's fucking gone. But in those days, everybody had indoor-outdoor cats. So uh, Cecil pulled off a lot of fucking shit. We couldn't get her fixed right away and all that shit. So she's just kittens all the fucking time. Then we have to find homes for kittens. And then when we found homes for the kittens, she went, because she was an outdoor cat and was looking for her kittens. She brought home other cats. Cecil fucking kidnapped other stray fucking kittens. I don't know where she fucking got them. It has to be some sort of illegal cat crime. So now we have kittens that we don't even fucking know where they belong. Then we got to find fucking homes for them. So that was nuts. And then we were half a block from the steak sandwich shop on the corner, of which we knew those people. And they said, "Oh, is that your cat?" Yes. How do you know our cat? Well, the grill is the steak sandwich shop had like a basement. You walk down into it 2-3 steps, and that's where it was. And it had the glass came right down to the sidewalk, and that's where the grill was. And the cat Cecil sat on the sidewalk on the other side of the glass, watching them make steak sandwiches right there, because that's where the glass was, and that's where the grill was, and they're flipping it, and Cecil sat there. looking as sad and pathetic. Then you get her to come around the back door, and they would feed her fucking steak sandwiches, and then she would fucking come home. We didn't know this for a while. She'd also followed somebody home from there that my wife was taking night classes with. And then they said, "Oh, you know Cecil?" And she says, "That's my cat." She goes, "How do you know Cecil?" Well, I got a steak sandwich and she followed me home, and I really didn't even want to come for a steak sandwich, but I wanted to walk, and it was like a fucking mile. So, this girl walked a fucking mile to get a steak sandwich, and Cecil just walked along with her and followed the scent and walked a fucking mile. I don't know if she got anything, but she did actually make it home. So Cecil was that fucking amazing. Um, we were babbling on the porch one night. You come home as a group, and then you're going to be in the house soon, but you're on the porch and you're fucking dicking around with it. You don't have the keys. Maybe you're trying to figure out, did we get everything out of the car? So there was a little bit of commotion on the front porch, and Cecil was in there waiting for us to come in. There must have been a chair or sofa near the door, because she went up on the thing there and then leaned over one paw on the doorknob, right? And she took the other paw and she opened a fucking curtain on our front door, right? And went, like, get the fuck in, will you? So she was absolutely, totally incredible. Excuse me. And she was really older than when we lost her. With my allergies and shit, that's how we wound up getting Sparky. My wife passed a little note and said, "What about a bird?" Because our daughter at the time was like 5 years old, this little girl. And I feel bad because I have allergies. And then she passes me the note that says, "Bird, what about a bird?" And our daughter goes, "I just want to point out that I can read the word bird." So that's how we wound up with Sparky, and then I wound up with fucking cats. Also, cats and Sparky. Sparky, miss you every day. But so the pets that we had, we didn't just go, "I think I'll get a dog or a cat." The pets that we have are fucking extreme. Mary is a rescue cat. Sparky actually picked me. A bird is supposed to pick you. And we actually selected cockatiel again because my wife did some research. They live very long, 23 years. That's fucking amazing. And if you only get one cockatiel, they bond with people. And all of that was true. But a bird is supposed to pick you out. So when we went to meet Sparky, she wasn't old enough to leave just being hatched. We got her from an awesome crazy bird lady who quit a pet store and had all these cockatiels in the basement. So when I went in there by myself because our daughter was sick, so I went over the big fucking video camera and I pointed it, and then Sparky kind of fucking hopped over on this big fucking video camera, and I have that videotape somewhere. So Sparky actually picked us. That's fucking incredible. Mary picked me. Cecil was cooperative wherever we would take her. So that's so the pets we have are like kind of really extreme, and the thing with Mary breathing and all, it really fucking sucks batshit balls because it's just like a person. If you sneeze and cough and can't breathe, you can't fucking relax. It's hard for her to eat sometimes. There's a little hacking. So there's all that stuff going on. But then she has these nice moments. She purrs all the fucking time when she's feeling good. Just for fucking hanging around. So we know how our pets are supposed to be, and when they behave weird, then they're off their game. So Mary had a fever, so that we felt bad about that. So Mary was hiding under the bed, and you go, well, that's where cats fucking go, under the bed. Not Mary. She's not really an under the bed kind of cat. So now that's a weird thing. And again, we can't really ask for help for people to say, well, what do we do? Our cat went under the bed. Cats go under beds, fucking asshole. That's where they go. So whatever normal cats do, Mary doesn't do that. And she likes my stuff. She likes our stuff. Um, Mary's got all kinds of fun stories too. Um, she I put a little video of the pictures of her looking in from outside and then being in here and then looking out. They're fucking heartbreaking. So we lured her in, and when Mary finally came in, she was like a little fucking vampire. Uh, there's pictures of her outside looking in. She wouldn't fucking come in. I'm trying to lure her like Hannibal Lecter with treats and all that shit. But when she finally she came in and she ran upstairs. And my wife and I were standing there looking at each other. My wife was, "What is she doing up here? How the fuck do I know what cats are doing here?" Apparently, she was scoping out the place. Maybe she had a few more apartments to look at that day. I don't really know. Uh, so that's where it all happened, man. So we got trying to get Mary taken care of. Mary, would you like to come into this stream? I might could lure her with, but when you don't feel good, it's hard to lure. So let's see if I get some more fun stories here. It's not going to be all about cats, but again, if you can donate anything, man, fucking, I, I, I'm speechless. We knew things would be expensive, but there's no fucking cat Medicare, and there's no fucking discount cards and all that shit. I'm gonna have my smoothie here. I got my dripping eyeball. Um, I'm peeking at a couple of notes here. I love so much that when they asked my wife if Mary was a male or a female, she said she's a woman. That's fucking brilliant. Let's see here. Well, that's a junk text. All right, never mind that. I'll check that out later on. Um, let's see here. Okay, so now going back to the vet before. Okay, so Cecil, well, this is going back years ago when she was outside. She had a little bit of a scruff with something. I don't know what. And we took her to the vet, and they said, well, we have to check her for rabies. And do you have like the squirrel or the cat that she fought? No, we don't. We just fucking brought her here. And then they said, well, there's a test we can do, and it's like $700, and we mail her brain off to a lab and it's tested. And I'm this fucking dumb. I'm this fucking dumb. I'm this fucking dumb. I said, okay, so while the cat has no brain, does it stay here? And is that a thing like housing the cat that has no brain until it comes back in the mail and they put it back in when they find out it's okay? Or do we keep the vegetable cat at our house, and how do we take care of it and feed it and all that shit because it has no brain? And then when does the brain get sent to us, or the brain gets sent here, and then you call us and say the brain's back and everything's fine? That's how fucking dumb I was. And then they said, no, you don't understand, sir. If when we mail the brain to the lab for $700, to put the cat has to be put to sleep. And I said, no, you don't understand. If the cat has to be put to sleep, I'll just let her loose in the parking lot and fucking drive over if that's what you're saying. I'm not gonna pay you fucking $700 to take her fucking brain out and fucking mail it. Well, that's the fucking dumbest thing I ever heard. So it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but we just fucking brought her home and she was fine. So that's some scary shit. The stuff for Mary that we're not doing is fucking scary. The stuff we are doing is expensive enough. So that was the last time I went to the fucking vet prior to these more recent times here. We got curbside Mary. We got my displaced eyeball allergy fucking scaring everybody. Let's see, we got Cecil getting cheesesteaks. And what happened?
Our hamster that was.
Oh my God. Thank you, wife. My wife just reminded us that we had a hamster that was so fucking horrible, we had to put it up for adoption. It was a vicious, violent fucking killer. And we even put little friends in the cage, like stick friends with furry nuts, and it just fucking ripped the fucking shit out of them. But my allergies to the guinea pig are the fucking worst. My head would start to turn into the fucking elephant man. So that was it for guinea pigs. We also we have grown up children. We also had our son Alvin had a turtle, and we when you one of the worst things is when you can't find your fucking pet. Like, where is the cat? Where's the dog? Where's the fucking turtle? We lost fucking turtle, and it was in the yard. We took it in the yard. They had to have some grass, and then well, I don't know if we got it all spaced out. We fucking lost it, and we again. This is how fucking dumb I am. I ran down an alley like 7 blocks, and the fucking turtle had only moved like 6 inches because it's a fucking turtle. It just went around a brick or something. But meanwhile, I'm fucking running around town, going in alleys, yelling for turtles. And it's hard enough to do that for fucking cats. Um, but we found the turtle, so that was fun, which leads us to another fun cat story. So Hank, our daughter's cat, is a rescue cat. That's our nephew and his wife. That's what they do. And Instagram's fucking blowing up. They have Freddie, Frankie, Lily, and Gus, and there might be another one. I don't even know. But before they got married, they were a couple, and his sister, that's our niece, she was off at college, and then he had a wild party at their house, and one of his drunken ass friends let his sister's cat out, and we spent a whole fucking day, my wife and her nephew and her boyfriend, no, not her boyfriend, his girlfriend. Let's clarity there. We're looking all over the fucking day for this cat, the sister's cat. Losing your cat is bad enough if you lose your sister's cat. Um, that's something. And he turned out when they got married, I believe his best man, who was never brought to justice for leaving that cat out, was the one who fucking let it out. So trying to find this cat took all day, and we had to take rest breaks and build fires and have rum and food, and then we go back on the road. Then because I am this dumb, and so is my nephew, the women were going, that thing, kitty, 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 it's a cute thing. We couldn't do it. Guys can't do it right away. You got to learn how to do it. We were like, cat, cat. So my wife, again, rocking things, found the cat in the garage of the house that it fucking escaped while we were running around all fucking day long looking for this fucking cat. So that's, don't lose your cat is the moral of the story. See here, there's free cat. Our cat Cecil kidnapped other cats. There was that stuff here. Okay, let's shift gears here a little bit. Again, if you can help out, that's great, and if you can't, what the fuck? I mean, it's crazy. You peckerheads who know me know when I beg for money, I like to beg for myself. So I'm going to at least extend Mary the same courtesy. But now let's shift gears here a little bit. I have been loving the Olympics, and I really love curling. And let me tell you how fucking stupid I am. I can't believe how fucking dumb I am. We had a nice day yesterday with our daughter. We drove around places and we shopped for yarn. I would like to have a sweater crocheted for me, and I think it'll be ready tomorrow, and that's incorrect. So we were riding all around and doing stuff, and we were talking about because our daughter lives in this town, and she was going to be with her cat, and we were so excited to watch curling, USA versus Great Britain. We talked about it all fucking day long. And then when we dropped her off and then we came back here, I had an exact whole bunch of shit that I knew I had to do to get ready to watch the Olympics. And it was garbage night. And I had to do a swapping out of cars, and I had to run to the market, and then I had to take care of Bearcat and get Bearcat food. And that's a whole production because I gotta get Mary and lure her back upstairs and close the door and hide her up there so she don't go fucking nuts when Bearcat's out there. And then when I went out and I was fucking crawling around, I heard there's vines there. Bearcat's out when I go out, or sometimes not, but I still change the food out. I'm hearing crinkling around. I look up. There was a fucking opossum in the stick vines, right? That are part of Bearcat's fortress. That whole thing helps keep snow and rain out and shit. And it's gray now. I know possums fucking blend in with gray sticks as good as a fucking gray stick until you hit the eyes and the fucking tail. And it was going up in the vines, and then when it saw me, it it goes, oh fuck, a person saw me. And then it started to go up a little bit, then it stopped. And then when I looked away, because I have to actually crawl into Bearcat's house, I was laughing because of a whole nother story that about 2 years ago there was an opossum running around here and it was wounded, and those crazy neighbors were going and calling animal control and saying there's an opossum and they drag your children under the porch, and my wife, who's nice to everyone, says no, that's incorrect, they don't. She just fucking said it. Confrontation with the neighbors. So I'm laughing because I'm talking to the opossum and I'm saying, if you do in fact drag children or people under the porch, now is your best time to do it, because I'm very vulnerable and I'm fucking crawling here swapping out the Bearcat food. And then it moved and it went a teeny tiny little bit there. And then I took a picture of the opossum, put it on Facebook. Spot, I spy an opossum. And what is the significance of this story? I totally fucking forgot to watch the Olympics. I fucking forgot that curling was on. I fucking missed it. I fucking missed the whole thing. And our daughter was watching it, and then she said she'd stream it off her phone so we can't text. And then when it was over, she said, that was awesome. I'm, what was awesome? She said, the curling. Motherfucker, I missed fucking curling. I fucking missed curling through my own fault. There's ways to do stuff. Alexa, set reminder.
What's the reminder for?
Curling's on at 8 o'clock, you stupid motherfucker.
What's the reminder for?
Curling's on at 8. She doesn't like when I curse.
Is that 8 o'clock in the morning or in the evening?
It's
What's
just
bad for you?
it don't do anything. I did a terrible thing here. I shouldn't have tried to set a timer reminder. I should have called you Baboomsa. So Alexa, cancel reminder. Boom boom. She's pissed off. But that's all I would have had to do. So I was really fucking mad that I missed curling.
Mad.
And I tried, but Boomsa was still saying shit over there. My wife had to just whisper to it, just fucking shut up, will you? He's trying to stream live. So I was really fucking mad about it, because the thing is too, is with our daughter, we love our daughter so much. We're not really sports people, so watching curling in sync with each other is just a fun, special thing to do. And I fucking missed it, right? So then I was hell bent on watching a replay, and I couldn't find the replay until fucking today. And I'm like, well, fuck me in the bucket of you. I don't give a fuck now. I know who won, and I don't get to watch it in sync with our daughter. So after I searched, then I fucking found it. Then I thought, oh man, I can't fuck around with this. I gotta get shit ready. Let's stream live and try to raise some cat bucks. But I have been loving the Olympics. And here's Mary. Hiya. You come in here. There she is. Hiya. Oh, see, now that stupid banner. Let me move this. Oh. See this? There she is. The stupid banner that says how much we're raising is blocking this. I gotta fucking get rid of this thing. Let me just move it. There, did I move it? I think I moved it. Mary, yoo-hoo. Hey, look what I got. I got cat drugs. Do you want some of this? This is going to be a big fucking horrible mess. This is what is called a licking stick. Now, this is also like cat heroin. So what's going to happen is, this is a nice treat, because this does not have. Oh, there was commotion there. We crinkled. See that? We crinkled. There it is. You coming back? You coming back? There it is. Now do it. Do it to the camera. See, this is the money shot right here. Play to the camera. Yes, it. Mary rocks. I'll tell you something. This cat, I took a bird out of her mouth while she was still wild outside because we were buddies. And I'm like, don't eat the bird. And she let me try to save the bird.
And it was alive.
And it was alive, yes. And then before she got her nice British manners, I will admit, I suspect she ripped the head off of a few little rabbits out there. But when I would come in and report the horror because we had Sparky, first thing my wife would say was, I'd say there's something bad. Mary did something bad, and my wife would go, "Was it an aviator?" No, it was a ground unit. So because we didn't want her to try to attack birds and all that. So there's Mary. Can you take this goose stick for me? So that's Mary. Mary rocks. She's a nice, calming force. We feel bad when you have sick pets. That's the fucking worst, ain't it? And uh, we all do that thing where we say, I wish Mary could talk and tell me what's wrong with her. My wife, no, that's a bad idea because if she could talk, it would just all be about like the food and where's the food and all that happy horse shit. So we actually don't want our pets to talk. Now, back to the Olympics. Wife, thanks for bringing Mary in here. I'm sure the fans love to have a peek at her. Once she's feeling better, I think she'll do more strolls through here. It's hard to look cool when you're drinking out of a straw. Okay, back to the Olympics. I'm really loving them. I'm so impressed with these young athletes, snowboarders, and the skaters, and they have a thing they built that's these two giant fucking big hills, and it's right in a town. It's very dystopia. It's actually frightening to see these nuclear things all around, and they're fucking going down this shit like backwards at the top. Like fucking 10 stories, they're going fucking backwards, and then they flip around and they land, and I'm just losing my fucking mind with this stuff. But I cannot help but go Mystery Science Theater on the commentators. There's just a gaggle of commentators that are really good. Johnny Weir, the skater, so flamboyant. He actually knows what he's talking about when they're talking about skating. I hate these fucking commentators always say what the athlete is thinking. How the fuck do they know what the athlete is thinking? Even if I said thinking instead of thinking, in case you were wondering. I did catch that. I'm not drunk, but I will be. If I was drunk, probably wouldn't have said that. How the fuck do they know what anybody is thinking? Just because they did that sport, that doesn't mean how they thought is how everybody thinks at that moment. That's fucking arrogant douche baggery. And they do it right at the top. They're thinking, and it's stuff like this, right? So that basically, this stuff is so visual and gorgeous and exciting to see. It doesn't really need a commentator to just fucking let it go. Oh my God, 23 feet in the air, and they fucking landed. So I talked to so-and-so. I talked to her last week, and she's definitely going for the gold. Who the fuck is at the Olympics who is not going for gold? That's a fucking stupid thing to say. Yeah, I'm not going for gold because I already have a gold from my last Olympics and I don't have silver and bronze, so I thought I would really get like one of each fucking color. I know that's nitpicking, but they're going for the fucking gold. Of course they're going for the gold. That's what they fucking do. But how dare you say, when up there, and it's their last run of the event, and they know they're going to fucking nail it, and they know they have this score to beat, and they have that score to beat, and they go, well, they're thinking right now, this is it. This is what I came for. There's no turning back. I can't sit, and they make up shit. I can't sit in the river too long. I gotta rip it, and clip it, and flip it, and I can't have the donuts in the oven. All this fucking dumb shit they make up, and it's right before they go. They don't fucking know. As the story unfolds, one of these snowboarders that the person was saying, here's what they're thinking right now, They actually have fucking earbuds in, so they're jamming. So while they're saying, "Oh, the she's thinking this," they're fucking jamming. In the fucking groove for my snowboard shit. Fuck yeah. Like, they just don't fucking know. And then, this one has me fucking nuts. If you happen to be the oldest person in the history of that event, the commentators already have a fucking funeral plot waiting for you. They say it. This is most definitely his last Olympics. He is old. He is basically dead and on his feet. And if he lives through this skiing, he can ski right into the fucking coffin because this is it. He's old. He's the oldest person ever in this sport. And then they interview him. They say, "How does it feel to be so old? We think that you're dead and you shouldn't even be here. And these fucking young kids are coming and they're gonna knock you out. They're gonna fucking clip your fucking wings. How does that fucking feel? You're the oldest one there ever fucking was. So how does that feel? What the fuck is wrong with these people? So if you're ever in the Olympics, lie about your age. Just downsize it a little bit because you definitely don't want to be the oldest one. Um, so that's fun shit for me. And then the other thing they do that fucking pisses me off is, especially in like the long jump, that's some weird fucking shit because they just go really fucking fast and they seem like they do nothing. They just push them down the hill and then they tense up and then they flex and then they whoosh like that and they fucking land while they're in the air. The commentators go, "This is a spectacular sight. Nobody thought this would ever happen again after last Olympics when he broke a hip, his ear, his head fell off, he broke 9. Then he lists all the fucking accidents they've ever fucking had. And in the in the long jump, that's the fucking craziest one. They go to, I think they soar the length of a fucking football field in the air. And then that, of course, they have a lifetime of injuries. And then the one peckerhead said, "This sport is safe until it isn't." It's never been fucking safe for someone to go down fucking skis 9,000 fucking miles an hour from a drop of fucking 10 skyscrapers and then be fucking airborne. That's never been fucking safe. It's always not been fucking safe. How the fuck can that be safe? These people are soaring from heights on skis and going backwards, and then they go fucking fly up into the air. I went to Wildwater Kingdom, Dorney Park, when our daughter was little, and I never went to these fucking things. And I went on a tube in a water park, and I lifted up off the tube about this much, 2 fucking inches, and I felt like I was fucking 100 feet in the fucking sky. I thought I was gonna fucking die. I could see fucking motherfuckers, and these kids, and they're flying all around, and it's absolutely fucking incredible. They are flying, the snowboarders too, when it's a big thing like this, and then they go whoop, and then they go up in the air, and then they're like, you can fall and break your legs and still make a record for like when the top of the ice is here and 23 feet in the air over it. It doesn't matter what matters, but if you fall and break your neck, you still get the record for the most highest from that fucking wall, 23 and a half feet. So if you break your legs, at least you have bragging rights that's the thing here. They're soaring from heights that I wouldn't even want to be standing at and fucking looking down. That's how fucking crazy this shit is. So I mean, it's just absolutely fucking incredible. Ice skating, again, I've complained about this before. It's art. It's gorgeous. It's music. It's theater. It doesn't need commentators. I could watch something that was so fucking amazing to me and then hear them find all this shit wrong with it that I don't fucking understand what they're. It's not even a fall. Like, well, that sucks because they were weak ankles. They have tired legs and have weak ankles, and you can see the rotation, the skate. They tried to turn the skate uh, they tried to land it too soon. How do you fucking land too soon? You land when you fucking land. You go up and you spin around and you fucking land when you fucking land. When you're up in the air and spinning around, oh, I think I'm gonna land too soon. I'll just fucking do that. That's incredible. Chen, way to go fucking Chen. Chen did like a four thing, a quad toe. They can say quad all they want, but four thises. When you skate and his feet together, up in the air, and then there was a double. That was amazing however many years ago. Then it was a triple. He fucking went around four fucking times and he fucking hit it. And he deserved to win, but that's fucking nuts to watch that fucking four. And then if you're going after him and you don't have a four, I don't even know how you would fucking skate. I mean, I think I would just go out there and say, I don't have a four, so what's the fucking point? Uh, but I like when they do those things, when they do the triple and the double, and I don't give a fuck what country they're from. You know, Chen, I want him to win, but if somebody's going to beat you, then it's got to be the fucking best. I like when they do the thing, and then they land, and then they're just kind of skating to the next thing, but as soon as they land, they go, they do that. Oh! It's like a millionth of a second appreciation for what they just fucking did. It's almost bragging, but it's like a shout out to the judges. I know the thing you were watching was that, and you thought that's what I was gonna fuck up. Fuck you and 2 buckets of goo and 4 in quad buckets of goo. I fucking nailed it. I'm fucking proud of it. Nobody's ever fucking done it. Put that in your fucking scoring pipe and smoke it, motherfucker, because nobody ever fucking did that before. And then not Chen, but I saw someone else do it. They did one of those, and then they fell at a little silly thing, and they laughed because it didn't fucking matter. There was no points. It's not good to fall, but you lose more points than the quad than if you do just fucking skating over to say hi. So that stuff just fucking blows my mind. It just fucking blows me away. But they are playing the age card. If you're the oldest one, this is your last Olympics. That's it. He will never snowboard again. They make it seem like if you're snowboarding in the Olympics and that's your last Olympics, you never fucking snowboard again. I promise you, these motherfuckers are going to snowboard again. You don't learn how to do this and just say, ah, well, fuck it, there's no Olympics. What's the point now? I might as well go bowling. It doesn't fucking work that way. The motherfucker, I want one of these old motherfuckers to come back in 4 years, like with a fucking walker. And then when they interview him, I say, well, it's just a surprise to see you. Well, my family said that you were going to have me buried after the last Olympics, and there's no possible way I could do this. So I've come to these Olympics out of spite to make you look like a dick. I would fucking love that. That is absolutely incredible. But I'm loving the Olympics. This I think there's more curling on tonight. So that's fun stuff.
Super Bowl is Sunday, Valentine's Day coming up.
Super Bowl Sunday coming up and Valentine's Day. Oh my God, this is like fucking 9 more hours of show. I'm gonna fucking kill my wife for saying this shit. Valentine's Day. I'm gonna sound like a dick. My wife and I get each other stuff sometimes, but it's again, we haven't had money over Valentine's Day for a couple of years. We have Valentine's Day a whole fucking year long. We love each other. We appreciate each other. There's not been a Hallmark greeting card been written that I could get for this woman. And she's so awesome, she would probably have shopped for them and noticed that greeting cards now are like fucking $6, and she would have thought, oh, I think we probably should have put that into a pizza. So, we'll hang out. We enjoy each other's company. I'm so blessed to be have this amazing woman, and even the stuff with Mary. It's nice to have 2 brains to figure shit out, because the thing we got to do is with Bearcat. This is a great one. We got to lure Mary upstairs, which is the opposite of killing movies, with food and shit. And one of the first nights we did it, we were so proud we forgot to close the fucking down door. Like we got her up there, and we're like, yep, high five, we did it. So Valentine's Day, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll give Mary some antibiotics. That's what we'll do there. So Super Bowl is another one. Super Bowl was probably the greatest disappointment in the history of sports, with very few exceptions. Um, I actually don't even know who's in the Super Bowl this year. I know it's one team has Rams horns, but they keep moving around from city to city. So I don't really know who the fuck they are.
Is it Clay's team?
It's some version of the Rams. No, my wife said, is it Clee's team? No, Clee's team was the San Francisco 49ers. They got knocked out. Cincinnati Bengals are in, and the Rams. If we go back to the days of our daughter being little, she always picked the animal team to win. The Bengals and the Rams would have been a rough call for her, but I think she would have erred on the side of the Bengal tiger ripping the shit out of a ram. But I'm not exactly sure about that. So the other fun thing about the Super Bowl is because it's on at 6 o'clock or 6:30, whenever it is. By the time it's on, most of the football watching audience is so fucking hammered that what's the point anyway? And the Super Bowl halftime show is too fucking long. I feel bad for these athletes, man. This is it. This is fucking it. When it's halftime, you want a 15, 20-minute breather. You don't want a fucking Broadway musical at halftime while you're in there trying to fucking regroup. Uh, whether we will watch the Super Bowl or not is, we'll probably watch it. Since I am still now a vegetarian, I'm creeping up on 2 years of being a vegetarian. The whole fun of Super Bowl snacks and food, I don't give a fuck about that either. There's no special food you can make for the Super Bowl for vegetarians that I don't fucking get all the time anyway. So, uh, that sounds like a fucking hell of a party right there, doesn't it? The Puppy Bowl, right, and the Kitty Bowl, that's fun shit. Halftime right there. Um, so that's all that excitement right there. And see if I have any fun stories to tell. I was working on my book until all this Mary stuff happened. When I get, like, I don't know how people do things, but when I get a thing or a problem, I get obsessed with it. It's hard to focus on other things. Like reading, it's hard to read for entertainment. So I'm behind on my book stuff, but the notes are coming along just absolutely fantastic. I will be launching some test reads on my Patreon. Um, and the fun thing for me through this process is as I remember a story, the trolls in my idea hallway remember similar stories to that story. And then I'm lucky because the writing software I have, I think, was created by someone who is ADD, OCD, MOUSE, because there's actually things in there for, like, if you're writing about this and the trolls go, hey, what about this? They go, it's not a problem. You just click on this and that moves over there. Instant 2 stories, even if you didn't fucking write that one. I need that. But a couple of spin-offs of stories for me, I actually have to make a note right now because it just happened right now. Oh my God. It already could be in my notebook, but if it isn't, it needs to be in. The very first night I went on stage, I most definitely needed to be institutionalized. I would say the best way to explain how I felt was like Mary and a cat carrier going to the fucking vet. I cursed myself all the way. I'm almost going from Emmaus over to Allentown, went over the 8th Street Bridge. I was thinking I should just fucking just stop and jump off and just fucking end this. It just didn't seem like it was going to be fun at all. I also was fooled because when I was invited to do stage time, I thought, okay, I'll get my 5-10 minutes together, then I'll say I'm ready, and then it'll be like a couple of weeks before they can schedule me. So, well, like on a Wednesday, I said, okay, I'm ready to do a guest set, and they're like, actually, it was a Thursday. I said, Okay, we'll see you tomorrow night. Show's at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow night. Wait, no, I'm not. Ha ha ha. So I didn't know this because I had never planned on being a stand-up comedian. But the Comedy Den in the basement of the Radisson Hotel was half owned by John Carfey, was the John half of the Keith and John in the morning show. I hadn't met Bearman yet. Um, I didn't know that this club had stopped all fucking guest sets because guest sets drag a show down if the person sucks batshit balls, and that's another thing that fucking ruined comedy. A bunch of people, you try out, you audition, and they go, you suck, you blow. They all get together and then they put a tour together. They go, 5 people hosting nothing, and it's fucking terrible. I have people that go to them and then send me little clips and shit. So that this club just fucking stopped them altogether. So I'm in the back of the room. I'm ready to fucking be put in a cat carrier and taken back home. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm pacing. One of these other comedians who used to do guest sets. There, I said it. And apparently they put the hammer down on him. That's curling lingo. The hammer. No more. But he was bitter and he was back there and he wanted to know what I was doing. And I'm like, well, I'm getting ready to go on stage. I don't want to be rude, but I've never been on stage. My first time. I'm going to get my headspace here a little bit. He said, oh no, you're not going on stage. No way. I don't fucking know who this guy is. He said, there's no more guest sets here. There's no more guest sets. Dude, I don't know what they fucking told you, but I got a fucking guest set. So that was my greeting to that little pep talk right before you go. Was a bitter, fucking bad guest set comedian who didn't have a career yet, and he fucked up his guest sets. Because when you get them, you gotta fucking bring it, or you don't get invited back. That's the key. So he was fucking raining on my parade. Somehow I survived that, and it went good. And when I was done, the club manager said, that was great. We'll see you tomorrow night. Unfucking believable. That is absolutely unfucking believable. Because a lot of clubs, you'll see it. If you see promotion for any comedy clubs and they say, we don't do guest sets, only professional comedians. That's a real thing. Anybody can say it, but that's actually a real thing. So I was really, really lucky to be offered guest sets in a place that just fucking didn't do them anymore because of that. And that brings me to Uncle Vinny's at Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Dino down there, I love him. It's a great club. It's sound real politically incorrect. They bring in a lot of Italian thug comedians, and that's what it is. It's them and me. So this wasn't internet stuff. I was referred to him by another comedian that worked for him, but by the time we got around to my show, that comedian had burned bridges there. I don't know if he went and had fucking shitty sets. I don't really know. We don't talk about this stuff. But that comedian also referred somebody else to Comedy Club Point Pleasant, Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club Point Pleasant, and he was a fucking nightmare and a disaster. And that it's a club who doesn't put disasters on their stage. So, according to him, according to Dino, Uncle Vinny's, I was just another disaster coming from this other guy who sent him one disaster. Now it was fucking second disaster. And I was worrying about a lot of shit. And I had a little bit of exchange with him. And I was like, I don't see, there's not much promo for my appearance there. And then he was pissed off at the other guy. And I think he was trying to get rid of me. He goes, well, if you like, I can just take you off the show. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, that's fine. And then I understood this stuff to be later on. So it's that fine of a thing that decides if you get a shot or you don't get a shot. And that club is amazing. I mock it when I'm down there because the wall is like Colin Quinn, and Gilbert Godfrey, and Dice, and then who's that fucking Amish guy? It's like, well, Dino lost a bet and he had to give me stage time. That's how it feels down there. So all these stories are coming back, and I gotta take control of them. And I gotta also stop having tragedies in my life like sick cats, and fucking busted windshields, and trying to have my career come back again, so I can get back to writing. But I'm looking forward to those stories. And then I just remembered another one right now. I'll just stay here because this is what I would do. I would just babble to my wife and I would say this stuff to her instead of you. But she sucks at donating money because it all comes from us anyway. But I got the wrong notebook here. I don't want to lose this story because this is a great one. So that one I just made a note. If I was using my writing software, I would put in there first night on stage. Boom. I'll just remember the rest. The rest will be fine. So here we go. Here is this. I will call this the soda machine passive aggressive opening act douchebag story. So, just going way back now, when I had an agent, and I wasn't even headlining yet, so he hooked me up with putting me on some shows. There was a college in Reading. I don't remember exactly what the deal was, and the guy, I really liked the comedian. I can't remember his name, but he's a big biker killer. That's his thing, right? And so I'm going to open for the biker killer, and the biker killer brought someone along to do a guest set and thought he could have my time. No fucking way. Doesn't work that way. I've covered that before. In this business, you can't just bring people along. You can't fucking do it. Even the headline, he can just fucking bring people along. So they were giving me attitude, and the agent at the time was actually there, and he was like, no, he can't do stage time. I'm getting paid to open for him, and that's what the thing is. And then I'm hearing all this shit, and then his opening act was walking around telling me how funny he was. And comedians love that. We love to just, that's like fucking football players walking around going, I score way more touchdowns than you. Who gives a fuck? So get out of my face here. So the college was dry, as most colleges are for these kind of events. I knew this. So I had smuggled in a burlap bag with my triangle in there, my Phantom of the Opera, half mask, cape, biker jacket, whatever the fuck else I had in there. I feel like a prop comic, but like 3 cans of Coors Light in this fucking thing. And I'm walking around after all this, and the guy's giving me attitude. Yeah, this sucks. I'm sorry. I could really use a fucking beer. He goes, that's the thing that we agree on. There's not a fucking drop anywhere. So then, down the hallway where he could see this, I went to the soda machine. I had my burlap bag, and they weren't looking. And I took a Coors Light out of the bag, and I set it in the soda machine where the fucking quarter comes out, where the soda comes out, and then where the quarter goes in. I didn't put enough in to vend a soda, but I had like 5 fucking nickels ready. And then I did it. I put the nickel in, and then I made the sound where the thing came out. And I went, holy fuck! I got a fucking Coors Light out of this thing. Let me play this fucker again. Boom! I fucking hit another one. Pow! It's like I hit the fucking Vegas lottery. Boo! That's unfucking believable. 3 nickels, 3 fucking Coors Lights. I'm fucking dancing. I'm as loud as this in the fucking hallway. These fucking college kids are amazing. Some college kid fucking broke into that soda machine and put Coors Light in the fucking Diet Coke. And I picked Diet Coke on purpose to be a fucking douchebag because they had it fucking coming. And I'm like, this is so fucking amazing. And then the guy heard this. The guy who was a douchebag to me, he heard this. And then I had to leave because I was going to laugh, and plus I wanted to drink my beer and pee. And when I came back after one beer and my own pee, he had like fucking 87 cans of fucking Diet Coke in the fucking hallway and all the other sodas. He said, maybe it's Coke, maybe it's 7 Up. I don't fucking know. I said, I don't know, man. Maybe I got the last three. Or maybe you got served, bitch. I didn't say that, but the trolls in my idea hallway. That's a story for the books. Um, so there's that. Uh, I believe I'm way over my limit here time wise. I don't know what else to say. Super Bowl is fun stuff. It takes too long till the fucking game plays. I don't know if you fuckers watch all that stuff.
Commercials.
Uh, Commercials are the best. Um, the best commercial I've ever seen, Super Bowl wise, was one of the first Apple ones where somebody ran up and he did this sledgehammer and he hit the fucking screen and it exploded. But the other ones I loved so much, I loved the Budweiser Clydesdales kicking fucking field goals. That was fucking badass. A whole fucking roll would line up and then it fucking kick that motherfucker. That was fantastic. There was also a Brady Bunch themed candy bar commercial with Willem Dafoe where he fucking was Willem Dafoe as one of the Brady Bunch kids, I think. And that's kind of fucking demonic. And then he got a Kit Kat bar. Then he turned back into Marcia. I don't remember that specifically, but that's a thing to look for. Super Bowl commercials are a lot of fun. Thank you for donating to Mary. I will be doing updates. This probably should have been more fun than it is, but when you're trying to raise funds, for, Mary can't run a hoagie sale, is the point. And she also can't sell Girl Scout cookies. She's just fucking got me. That's pretty much it. I'm checking my notes here to see anything before I sign off here. Oh, this one over here. My wife, she writes a lot of my comedy, but she doesn't know it. She will just have an observation. And they're doing it in the Olympics. Watch the Olympics and watch for the commercials. They take whatever the thing is that they're trying to sell you. It's like the Seinfeld Cotton Dockers pants, because they don't mention it. They show you all this amazing stuff that really has nothing to do with them. And Toyota is the motherfucker here. They'll have a man. I didn't decide to become a snowboarder until I became a paraplegic. And then they show his plate. And then they have another person with no fucking arms. And they somehow can do a shot put with their fucking teeth. And then they show you all this shit. And then they had to overcome this. And there's tears. And then they go, buy a Toyota. What the fuck is that about? For crying out loud. I mean, it's just, ha. So it's just a spin. Watch for the spin. There's a truck commercial where they were smart enough to add a cat, and the focus is on the cat. And then the guy comes in and he goes, "Let's talk about the cat. What about the truck?" He says, "Well, you've never seen a cat before." And they're trying to sell you a truck. They know that cats are fucking cool now, and they just fucking. It's not even any point to it. It's not like let's take the cat for a fun ride in the truck. They just do the commercial and then they fucking throw a cat in there and they go, "Here's a cat, buy this truck." And that, what the fuck? So that's fun stuff to watch for. Let me check my notebook here. And again, I don't really have access to the chat. It does look like there's 7 viewers. So if you take Mary's, like let's round it up to $500 and divide it by 7. 500 divided by 7, that will give you what your level should be entrance wise. I got to get rid of this fucking stupid thing over here that says how the fundraiser is going. This is all old shit here. I don't have anything too much more exciting to say. Wife, do you have any interesting tidbits? No?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Mrs. Comic says Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Super Bowl watching.
Love you guys.
And we love you guys. That's right. We love you. And if cats could thank you, Mary would give you a nice big thank you as well. Thanks for tuning in. Check me out on Patreon, Facebook, Don't get used to this because no, not gonna fucking happen. I'm signing up. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can do this. This is. There's that. That's what I'm fucking working on all day. I know it doesn't seem like it would take all day. Well, that's not all I did. I set up the phony link for donations. Uh, and then there's this panel here. I think that's all I did. We're doing this. We are stream ending soon. I Thanks for tuning in, folks. I feel so blessed to have such amazing fans, and I'll definitely keep you posted as to Mary's progress. Amish Comic, Mrs. Amish Comic, and Mary signing off. Bearcat's not very sociable, so and the opossum is also on the fence. Let's turn this off. Wait a minute. They can still hear me on YouTube, but I'm turning off Facebook because I figure Facebook should get fucked over way before the YouTubers, right? So let me do